Hey, beautiful people, welcome back to my channel. I guess you can call it a podcast. You guys, we're here today to talk about Ready to Love. Ready to Love. I watched it a little bit, but I fell asleep on it. So some of it will be new to me as we're watching. So we start off with the ladies meeting up with Tommy, and he tells them to take the men out on dates, and it's in their hands. So we're gonna send some men home, but takes the men out on dates, and what did he say? Oh, uh, reveal something that you normally wouldn't reveal. And I'm like, no, why would I do that? Why on earth would I do that? If I don't normally reveal it, why would I reveal it now on TV to you, stranger? No thanks, Tommy. But okay, they say okay. um, and then we have, what's her name? Is her name Destiny? The flight attendant invites the girl Sue something out with Blake. Blah, blah, Blake. And Mark Anthony, the wannabe pilot. So they go, and not that much to really see here, you guys. They have on these little shoes or whatever, that, the little bouncy shoes. Um, Blake acts like he likes Sue Ann, whatever her name is, and he gives her this nickname, Sue. And I thought their whole conversation was just stupid because I honestly feel like Blake is a bore. Like, he offers absolutely nothing. He would bore the shit out of me. Just looking at his face bores me. He's not unattractive. His arms, I'm an arms woman, y'all. His arms, very nice. He had a decent looking little body. That haircut and just him, and then the other two, the flight attendant and the Mark Anthony, they sat down. He wants to be all super huggy, and he's like, "Come closer," and she moves in while they're just sitting on the couch at the workout place, and I'm like, "What is we doing? Like, why are we sitting here like we on a real date at the movies, and you're at the workout place? Unhand me, sir." No, no. So yeah, that was it for that. All right, y'all. Next we have Andre, who y'all know I definitely am not feeling him in that haircut. It's kind of a mohawk with a curly Q with sometimes a bun. It just looks like shit. Like, I don't even understand how anybody could look at him. I would be like, dude, if you don't put a hat on, or oh my God, it makes me so mad that people are entertaining this because they're making him feel like it's okay. It's not okay. What you're doing with your hair, that's not okay. Anyway, he's out on this painting date with what's her name, Cynthia. Y'all know I like Cynthia. Y'all know I feel like Cynthia gave great answers when it was just her in the line of fire with all the guys. Um, what I don't like about Cynthia is the way she talks so slowly. And it's like, I invited you here because, and I'm like, if you don't just spit that shit out, spit it out. What are you saying? What did you invite him here for? Like, why are we here? She did it the entire time, and I just couldn't take it. I couldn't even really get into her situation. She this man says that he like women that are soft, and that's great, but she just kind of let him know in her own way. Cynthia gives great answers, you guys. She just does. And I think she's being very real. Like, I don't think it's put on. Like, one of them girls in one of the seasons just had textbooks and Lord, textbook answers where you could tell she was just saying what needed to be said. I feel like Cynthia is very genuine with her answers, so that's why I like her. I don't like the way she talks so slow, but um, she lets him know in her own way that, listen, what if the woman had to, put up her defenses or whatever because she was, did she say a single mom or something? Something about her having to just go at it alone or something. So she had to be independent. We get it. We get it. Same problem here, ma'am. Same problem here. But when you get the right man, it's fine. You'll settle down and your softness will come out. So, excuse me, and that's inevitably what she said. I am soft on the inside, however, you kind of got to get to it. And okay, the only thing I had to learn as well, people don't want to spend a whole lot of time getting to it. Like, if you can evaluate yourself to that extent that you know you do it and you know why you do it, then lighten the fuck up earlier. How about that? sooner. Like, have the spirit of discernment so that you can learn these people a little bit quicker, and who you can, be a little bit more vulnerable with and who not, because you were vulnerable right now with the wrong person. I'm sorry, y'all. I just don't trust this Andre character. I don't. Like, I just feel like he is, and I don't even know how he's a player because of that hair. But I do feel like he would just say whatever to whoever is giving him time. Oh, but in his defense, I will say in this moment, he appreciated her honesty, her vulnerability. She ended up crying or whatever, and he gave her great hugs, very sincere, very heartwarming. And I did feel like, he said he liked her more because she opened up or whatever. Great. Apparently, you have to cry for men to really, to really like you. But I believed, he gave her good, feedback. So that I'll give him kudos for. All right, y'all. So because I don't want to watch these again, so I was awake for these. So I don't want to watch them again. I don't. I'm getting to them and kind of remembering, going off of memory, what happened. And we have Corvea, the gold digger. We have her meeting up with the old creepy guy. What is his name? I don't know. Right now, we just gonna call him old creepy guy because he creeps the fuck out of me. Like, and you can't tell me that he is anything younger than like 62. He could definitely. I'm gonna shut up. Listen, he's an older man, and they are lying in our faces. But she meets up with him. They do the bikes or whatever, and I guess he told her that he likes to ride. He didn't look too happy to see them bikes though, for real, in real life. But they get on the bikes, and then when they're done, they sit down. And I'll say this about her: number one, she's a pretty girl. Number two, she doesn't seem all that bad if she just shut her mouth. Like, some of the stuff that just come out her mouth just don't make sense. And she's very surface. She's very, I don't know. And I feel like that's what he was kind of trying to say in their conversation. And so she was picking up on it though, and it was offensive. So they sit down, they start talking. He's talking about himself, of course, and he's telling her how, he was young, and he uh owned a business, and then he sold it. And she goes, oh my God, wait a minute, because I said that it's the craziest thing. I said that I want a guy who started a business and sold it, and it's not about the money. And I'm like, who says that though? Like, who says I want a guy who started a business and sold it already? Like, who really says that? And then right away she says, but it's not about the money. And I'm like, girlfriend, everything is about the money with you. And of course, he also picked up on it right away, and he cuts her off, and he goes, no, it's fine, because I get you, and you can say whatever you need to say to me. Maybe you have to censor yourself when you talk to other people. And so I feel like he was telling her, I get that you're all about the money, because I feel like they talked about her, and that's the consensus with the guys. And I feel like he's letting her know, no, you can get your shit off about, being a gold digger or whatever with me, because I'm just a creep who wants to screw everybody. So we can, he didn't say that, y'all, but that's what I was getting at. Well, that's what I was getting from him, but he's just letting her know. And then he says, well, if I looked like you, I would be that way too. I would be that way too. So he's really definitely telling her, you don't want nothing but money, ma'am, and it's fine because you're pretty. And she picked up on it. She took offense, and he was telling her he wants to dig deeper. He wants to know more. And she was just like, what are you saying? What are you saying? I'm like, he's saying everything that you're giving is just really surface and very shallow. And he said it without saying it, but she picked up on it. And was it rude? Sure, but he doesn't take social cues at all. Like, for real, for real. When he was on the date with all the women talking about sex, and they're all looking at him like he lost his mind, he didn't pick up on that. So, or that, or either he just don't give a shit. And I kind of think it's a little bit of both. Like, I feel like he saw her face, and he saw that he was kind of coming off a little offensive, but he don't care about this girl. He don't care about this girl at all. So he didn't care. So later on in the episode, when she's talking to Tommy and them in the room, she's saying how he offended her, and he was saying, he wants to pull out more, and she's like, but what if this is it for me? And I was like, ooh, that is unfortunate. If that's it for you, like, that's all you got, okay. But yeah, so she was offended. I'm sure he didn't care, and that didn't work out. Like I said, I didn't see the end, so I don't know, I don't know how everything is going to end up. But this didn't turn out well. But why would it? Why would it with him? Oh, before I leave, that one good thing I want to say about Corvea is that she has great energy. She really does. She has a great smile, great energy. She looked like she was really happy to be there in the beginning. Like she was very excited. And yeah, I liked her energy. Later on, she was looking at him like, dude, if you don't shut up. But in the beginning, all right, so on this next date, we have Morgan, what's his name, Lyndon, with the hair all over his head, looking like fire. Tony, Mr. Smooth, little thick ass Tony is really what I want to call him. And what's her name? I can't remember her name, y'all. The girl with the hair. And what's bad about her hair is that number one, it's all over the place. Number two, she wears this thing around her head, and she has some hair out in the front, some hair on the back, and she really promotes it being all over the place. So it's very unfortunate. Very unfortunate. All right, so on this date, we find out that Morgan has never been in love. Um, and what's his name? Tony is like, that's kind of a red flag. Or not really a red flag, but I'm gonna keep an eye on it because it's like you old as hell, and he did. He was just like, we know she kind of older and she never been in love, so I get it. And then the other girl, oh, I can't remember her name. We just gonna call her Gums, you guys, okay? And not to be rude, she's a pretty girl, but when she smiles, she show mostly gums, so we just gonna call her Gums. Her and Lyndon go and sit down and have like a little one on one, and this fool, this fool tries to lean in and kiss her, and when I tell you the noise she made had me cracking up. She's like, "Oh no 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 no!" I'm like, "Girl, just be like, mm be easy or something, like move your head back or something." She was just like disgusted, and he was just like, dang, and said, he played it off like is a premature smoocher or whatever, and I'm like, ew. But yeah, she wasn't about it, and Lyndon, with that hair. What's wrong with the men on this season in their hair? Like normally it's the women in their wigs. And I mean, we have some questionable wigs on this one, but they're better than previous seasons, some of them. So this time it's the men. Yeah, Lyndon is a turnoff because he reminds me of Andre. I just feel like they want to try to see what they can get from as many women on this show as they can. And by that I mean they're very touchy, feely, physical type people. And shoot, we gotta put creepy old guy in the same category. I don't know. I just don't get a good vibe from him. Talking about she was looking at his lips, and you was talking, nigga. What? What do you say? What? And I don't even like using the N word, y'all. But just saying stupid shit. Then, what's her name? Morgan, when she broke off and went and had, I guess she had this heart to heart with, um, what's his name? Tony. Y'all, she had on a cute little summer breezy situation, but it looked like she had on Birkenstocks that were not really Birkenstocks. I don't know, but I did not like the shoe choice that she had on this date. I just kept looking at it like, is that what I think it is? Like, are those just not some in between the toe sandals or something? Like, just something real light? Like, why do you have on shoes that look like Birkenstocks? And if they're gonna look like Birkenstocks, I'm gonna need them to actually be Birkenstocks. Maybe they're better than Birkenstocks. What am I saying? They didn't look good though. Now, guys, we have Jeffrey going on this horse or pony with this other guy. One of the guys with the light eyes. He's a tight, swole guy. Looked like he can barely move, and it was hard as hell for him to get on that horse because he couldn't really move his leg. It's like his knee didn't bend or something. I don't know, but he all judging her because she was looking crazy on the horse or pony, whatever it was. It was little, got to be a pony, but the pony was like doing this little crazy gallop or whatever. So yeah, she looked stupid, but that's not her fault. And he's like, I did good, and he talks slow too. Him and Cynthia, can you imagine them having a conversation together? That freaking date would last for hours. But he like, I was doing good and she was looking crazy. And then she comes in the confessional. She really did look crazy. That wig, Jeffrey. And I keep saying her name because, again, I do like it. I like the fact that she's a girl named Jeffrey. Um, but the wig, the half up, half down, and it was disheveled, and it was Mm-mm. You know better than that because this little outfit you got on at the at this place with these ponies was cute. The little pink and black. I'm all about it. But don't be coming on TV with your hair looking like that, Jeffrey. Y'all, and then Jonique comes into the frame, and production is so wrong for doing a serious close up on her midsection and her body as she's walking in this pink one piece jumpsuit, looking like a bottle of Pepto Bismol, and mm-mm. And I don't even care that she has a little bit of, she's not like a size 2 or whatever. That doesn't matter. The point is you have to dress for your body type and you can't wear that, sis. You should not be wearing that because with that you cannot wear the body shapers and all that stuff or whatever, and you can see every little crease and plump and all. Like, don't wear stuff that you just shouldn't be wearing. But again, they just totally zoomed in on her. That was foul. She looked cute though. Other than that, she looked cute. And she had this date with Lyndon. Yeah, I was bored last night. I think this is probably where I fell asleep. And I really don't want to watch it. I don't. I'm sorry. So I'm gonna have to skip. I'm gonna have to skip this shit because I don't care. Like I'm not invested in either one of these people. So I don't care how it works out for them. I don't care what her little thing is that she's supposed to reveal. I don't care. So we're going to move on. All right, so we're deliberating with the women. And what do we find out in here? We find out, of course, we know Morgan likes Tony. Somebody, I can't remember who it was, said that Tony brings nothing. Oh, it was Cynthia. He ain't talking about nothing. And then Morgan made this face like, And I'm like, girl, you got to fight for your man. Um, then we find out that what's his name, Lyndon, also tried to kiss uh, Jonique. Is that her name? So he tried to kiss both of them that he had dates with, which that's nothing new to us, right? Like we knew he was gonna do that. He's gonna try to kiss anybody that he's alone with because he's creepy too. But we also find out that Blake told Jeffrey that he doesn't, he's upset that he has to go through the process because he already found his woman. And when she goes out on these dates, she has to tell him when, excuse me, I'm sorry, how long it lasted, when she's home, this and that or whatever. And she's saying it like he's making her, but she's doing it. And in the confessional, she's like, I feel like I'm in a relationship without being in a relationship. And I'm like, well, if your dumbass is doing it, then whose fault is that? Like, whose fault is that? He's telling you what he would like for you to do. But if you don't like him like that and y'all not together like that, no. And not to mention, if y'all are together like that, like, who has to call and be like, oh my God, I'm home. I'm on, like, no. But anyway, so apparently he really likes her. And the girl, Susu, feels some kind of way because she felt like he was feeling her. But I don't know. We don't know. Blake ain't feeling nobody because Blake looks like, I ain't even gonna say it. I'm not gonna say it. I'm gonna leave Blake alone with his serial killer vibes and all that. Just leave him alone. Y'all, we get the creepiest shit ever from the old creepy man. So apparently the two on the chopping block, because I didn't see this part, you guys. So this is brand new for me. I don't know who's going home. I wish they both could go. So you know how he's giving them the chance to save one? He should be giving them a chance to actually get rid of more than one at the same time and just save themselves. How about that? Um, but he goes on a date with hair, gums. He goes on a date with her creepy old guy, and she sits down. And on these shows, they like to show a lot of boobs and all that or whatever. And he's like looking at her cleavage and telling her, "Oh my God, it's so hard to focus. I'm trying." And she closes her shirt, and she's like, "Yo, like, what are you doing?" And he's like, "Well, you wore it. You wore it so that it." And she's like, "Yeah, I wore it because I like to look nice." And he's like, "And I'm telling you, it looked nice." Y'all, that was so creepy to me because for him to be like, "You wore it," making it sound like she would ask for it, that's kind of what it sounded like to me. And I know I could be reaching, like, could be going too far, but the way that it sounded when it came out of his mouth was a little beyond creepy. It was a little, listen, you wore it, this is what you wanted. I don't like it. Now, I'm not saying anything like he ain't touching nothing like that, but just the fact that he said it and that's his way of thinking, yeah, people should definitely avoid him. I hope he's going home. Um, so yeah, let's watch the rest of it. All right, y'all. So Blake is meeting with Susu, and he is up on what's going on. He's like, yeah, I know the ladies met and then she called for a date. So I'm just like, listen. So she's trying to do small talk and he's smiling. He's giving her the cutest smile. But he's also like, just spit it out. Like, I know what's going on or whatever. Just say what you got to say. And then we get back to creepy old man and God, Gums. I swear to God, I just can't remember this girl's name and they just said it. But she's over him. So I hope she really is the one that's able to let him go, because she's the one when they met with Tommy that was like, y'all, he talk about sex too much. Like, she's definitely over him. So I'm like, yeah, you should be the one that release him. Like, get it off your chest, sis. Let him have it, especially after what he did and said when he first got there. So she's like, listen, so we met up and the ladies feel like you do too much talking about sex. Do y'all know this fool said, well, anyone who, has a problem with that just lacks maturity, because if they say sex isn't important, then, they're wrong and they're fooling themselves. And y'all, as soon as he said maturity, I'm just like, he old as hell. This man is old as shit. You can't tell me that he's not. He looks it, he acts it, he speaks it like everything is mature and immature. I hope he's going home. I really, really do. But the way she's looking at him, she shut her mouth and was just like, oh, really? And I'm like, oh, sis is over him. So then we get back to Blake and them. And what's so bad about Blake, you guys, is that he's a handsome guy. He got the dimples. If he cut that hair and act totally different like somebody else, it would be amazing. I am so trash. Oh, y'all, the old man is irritating my soul. I swear to God, everything she says, he has an answer for. Like, he has a comeback for it, and it's not good enough. It just really isn't. He should just probably shut up and take it. Susu is talking to, what's his name, Blake, about the fact that Jeffrey said he basically chose her, and he's like, I didn't choose her. I didn't say that. Yeah, I talked to her, but I didn't say that. And she's like, she also said you're very controlling, and he looks very irritated because people don't like when you call out the truth about them. They don't like it at all. But yeah, back at the other table, old guy is just going crazy with explanations, and we don't care. All right, you guys. So in the end, yay, creepy old guy has to go home, and I'm very happy. And he was just like, oh my God, it's unbelievable. Like, I just came, I was just being myself. And I'm like, yourself is gross. You're gross. And I'm so glad he's gone. But she's like, come on, give me a hug. I'm like, girl, he gonna touch your butt. Why do you want to hug him? I would not want him to touch me at all. And I'm not even kidding. Wouldn't want him to touch me. Blake gets to stay, and as soon as she said that he's still ready to love, I said, ooh, Jeffrey, you in trouble. You are in trouble. He's gonna call you as soon as he get in the car, sis. Just be waiting on it. Because he told, he said in the confessional that it's fine that he's still there, but he's not happy that they were saying some of the things that they were saying about him. And I was like, Blake is about to be like one of the girls who run back. I wasn't trying to be funny with that, but he gonna be like one of the girls who run back and be like, who put me on the bottom? Who put me on the bottom? But Jeffrey, you the one that's gonna feel it the worst, because you're the one that he has control of. Okay, so wrapping it up, he comes off like a little bitch for real, telling her, she's saying, listen, I like you. I don't want you to go home. So just kind of lighten up, basically. And he's like, well, after the stuff with Jeffrey, I can say that I'm probably going to be a little more harsh or whatever, because we got to set some boundaries. I'm like, the boundaries is you on the bottom. Just go home then, because that means they don't like you already. So if you're going to come back being shitty, just go home. Just go home. They already don't like you, sir. So you coming back worse than what you were before is not gonna do you any good. Like, it's just not. But whatever. And she, she's in the confessional saying that he looks uncertain, and she, she hates it because she don't want him to go. Girl, let him go. I'd have been like, you know what? Matter of fact, just go. Just go. And I had to take that up with Tommy later. I'd have been like, Tommy, listen, I know what I was supposed to do, but what I had to do was two different things. But it was over. And again, you guys, it was fine. The episode was fine. Again, I'm not as mad at this as I have been before with the other seasons. They were mad boring and all that. This was fine. So let's see what's gonna happen in the next episode. But we're basically done here, you guys. So if you are still here, you are the real MVP. If you have not already, please consider subscribing to the channel. It is absolutely free of charge. Please like the video because it does wonders for my analytics. It really does. Gets me in there and out there. I don't even tell you guys to share because I don't. But you know, like it does wonders for the analytics if you just hit the like button. Comment, you know, I definitely talk back to my people. We chop it up, and I'm very open, you guys. So half the time when I talk to people, I won't say half the time, but some of the time when I talk to people and they tell me you know, certain things of how they look at things, I'm able to, not saying I completely change my mind, but I'm open to see, you know, what other people see. So I'm not a closed minded person. So we definitely can, you know, have different opinions on some of these people, and it's totally fine. And I'm doing much better at being respectful this season. So y'all like how I just gave myself a compliment? I ain't wait for y'all to tell me because I feel it in my soul that I'm being way more respectful than I have been in the past because I'm changing. I'm changing. But yeah, you guys, let's just talk about it in the comments, and I will see you guys in the next video. Smooches. Oh, subscribe if you have not already. Please, we would love to have you, and it's free of charge. Smooches.